As we get prepared for service, I ask everybody, please shut your cell phones down and we'll hold a thought and prayer. Thank you, God. Mahalo kea kua for the blessings this day brings. As we share this light and love of unity of Kona to the world, we ask for it to be God's greatest good. And so it is. Amen. Aku mau mau, aku mau mau pa. Ho mai, ho mai, ho mai, ho mai ka iki mai luna mai. Ona mea huna no, awe mele ho mai, ho mai. Ho mai, ho mai, ka iki mai luna mai, ona mea huna no, awe mele ho mai, ho mai, ho mai, ho mai, ka iki mai luna mai, ona mea huna no, awe mele. Kakaiaka e komamai. Good morning and welcome. Unity of Kona. What an honor it is to be here on this beautiful Sunday morning, coming live, Kailua, Kona, Hawaii. And as we start the Hawaiian prayer chant with our service this morning, the A O Mai. The A is the beseeching, the O is the Great Spirit, and the Mai is our ancestors. A O Mai, beseeching our ancestors and the Great Spirit above for the wisdom of the story. The octaves are changing as the story being told. Why they tell the story to their children, and the highest octave beseeching them all for the wisdom of life experiences that become our stories. With that knowledge, we don't have to repeat them over and over again. And so a fitting chant for the starting of our service, the Eo Mai prayer chant here at Kailua Kona and Unity of Kona. We're coming broadcasting live on YouTube and Facebook. Tell your friends and family as we welcome and greet everybody here this morning. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here. My name is Jim Carey. As we get started with the service, I'd like to ask everybody please stand as we'll do our affirmation for the month, our vision and mission statements. We are in a brand new month. And for the month of August, we got elevating our integrity and awareness together. I embrace conscious living, leading with integrity, gratitude, and my unique genius. And so it is. Here at Unity of Kona, we come together with a vision, a world family of oneness, peace, and love, with our mission to inspire spiritual growth and service through the active practice of love, prayer, faith, joy, and honoring everyone as a child of God. And so it is. Mahalo kea kua. Thank you, God. And now while I get everybody standing, we're going to have some singers coming up on board. And so we're going to do this new song for the month, Ho'oponopono by George Bentz. And so we've kind of put this together as we get our choir up here to sing along. You guys more than welcome to sing along. We got the new slides for the song, so they'll be up here on the screen. Thank you, Larry Sire, for all he does for us is amazing. I've got a copy here, too. Are you going to be in the front? Oh, yeah. Living in a world that seems so unforgiving. Living in a life it feels so unforgiving. There's another feeling like I just want to get away. There is an answer to the madness, the old Hawaiian way. You got to ho'oponopono day and night. Ho'oponopono gonna make things right. Let a little love into your heart. Got to ho'oponopono throughout the day. Ho'oponopono the Hawaiian way. Love and forgiveness is the start. You got to open up your heart. Let a little love in. It'll put a big smile on your face. You've got to open up your heart. Let a little love in. It'll put a big smile on your face. Some days things just don't seem to be going right. Everything you're doing just puts up a fight. You got some bad feelings that don't wanna go away. There is an answer to the madness, the old Hawaiian way. You got to ho'oponopono day and night. Ho'oponopono gonna make things right. Let a little love into your heart. You got to ho'oponopono throughout the day. Ho'oponopono the Hawaiian way. Love and forgiveness is the start. You got to open up your heart. Let a little love in. It'll put a big smile on your face. You've got to open up your heart. Let a little love in. It'll put a big smile on your face. You got to ho'oponopono day and night. Ho'oponopono gonna make things right. Let a little love into your heart. You got to ho'oponopono throughout the day. Ho'oponopono the Hawaiian way. Love and forgiveness is a start. You got to ho'oponopono all day long. Ho'oponopono gonna make you strong. Woo! There it is. Thank you, guys. Not a bad first time this month. And as we're all standing, it's time to greet one another. Your neighbor right there next to you, or if you're joining us online, it's time to leave a little comment in the comment section on the Facebook or the YouTube so we can formally greet everybody. But we'd like to take a moment here now in our service and have a little moment of fellowship as we get prepared for the service. Thank you. Yeah, this fellowship moment is amazing. When you get all the people together and everybody starts chit-chatting. But it comes time, we just have to let it go. We got more fellowship coming out after the service, guys. It's birthday Sunday, so there'll be cake upstairs, and I've seen lots of plates of food. So don't miss the fellowship after the service today. And now's the time in our service where we'll welcome our guests and visitors. So if you're new here to our Unity Center, or maybe it's been a while, we'd please ask you to stand and give us your name and where you're from. Anybody new or just visiting? Anybody want to do this? Not in the sanctuary? We're all good? Okay. Well, if you're joining us online, new and visiting, well, we'd like to send it out with everybody. A great big aloha, and God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us here this beautiful Sunday morning, Kailua Kona, Hawaii. And it's like a mountain behind us is Hawalala. It means head in the clouds. And it's got its head in the clouds this morning. But, you know, we really appreciate a little break from all that sun that we get. But I'm not complaining. No, we're a complaint-free church here. You know, snap your wrist. All righty. So now it's like we sent that out, and we have a couple of announcements. But first and foremost, we are a prayer ministry. So you can get this prayer request forms in the back of the sanctuary. There's a little box there. There's some up also in the office. And you fill that form out here. Our chaplains go over them, and they pray over them here. And then we send them on to Silent Unity, where the power of prayer is tenfold. As Unity Village, Lee Summit, Missouri, it's amazing. They have a prayer vigil, and they also have the app, the Be Unity app. With that app on your phone, Android or iPhone, you can download that, get instant connection to prayer. And they also have many inspirational, meditative videos and hundreds of articles. And so this is an amazing opportunity for the 30 days of continuous prayer. The prayer vigils, lights are on 24 hours, and they're constantly in there praying. So with that power of prayer tenfold, it's multiple folded over that with the Unity Village and their prayer vigils. So please utilize the prayer request forms and keep that power of prayer alive. And so it is. And now is the time in the service where I've asked Tani Golden. She's going to come up and finish up the rest of our announcements. Thank you, Tani. Stick this in here for you. Eat the mic.
Eat the mic. I am so glad to be home. Thank you. Yes. I had to close a store, but it's worth it so you can go to church. Announcements for August 4th, 2024. Congratulations to Clyde. Mahalo, Clyde, for your loving service to our spiritual center. We are so blessed to have you at Unity of Kona. Clyde facilitates the weekly Jigong class on Mondays, and the monthly drumming circle, provides Reiki energy during healing services, is a greeter, cleans our facility monthly, helps set up and tear down the circulation day, always volunteers to decorate for the holidays, and puts the Unity signs out every Sunday and for some events. Clyde, your willingness to offer whatever support is needed and share your time and talents is always greatly appreciated. You are a bright light, and we are grateful for you, for your spirit of aloha. We love you, Clyde. P.S. Remember our great golf competition that we had, our golf tournament? Poor Clyde was left out in the boonies because none of us had our phones. And I can't get over it. I'm still dwelling on it, that we all just left him and he had to walk all the way back. I think about it all the time. Because I heard people's phones ringing, but they're not my phones, and I don't know. We are all sorry. We love you. Okay. Today is birthday Sunday. Woo! We would like to acknowledge everyone who has a birthday this month by celebrating you as the love and light each of you are. We would especially like to acknowledge those we know of from our Ohana, which is Jennifer Siegel, Sean Dooley, Akiko Hackett, Claire Bajo, happy birthday. What he said. Today at noon, we have our sound bowl healing services and individual healing, energy healing. We hope you all can stay and join us after fellowship. I'm sure there'll be 100% participation, I expect. Clyde facilitates the weekly Qigong class on Monday mornings from 8 to 8:45 at the Old Kona Airport State Beach Park. As soon as you go through the gate, go to the left, and it's the first beach. On Monday evenings from 6 to 7, Dondi leads the ukulele, Kanakapila style jam sessions from beginners to experts here in the sanctuary. Bring your ook. Some will be available to use, and come to learn, play, and share. Join us for an evening of self-healing, meditation, and discovery facilitated by Sean this Tuesday. Oh, that's a good one. All right. August 6th from 6:30 to 7:30. I look forward to seeing you. Starting Wednesday, August 7th from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., Rev Sophia will facilitate Wisdom Wednesdays, which is a weekly virtual gathering for Unity's members and like-minded individuals to engage in inspirational teachings, affirmative prayer, and guided meditations, creating a sacred space for spiritual growth and community support. Wow. If interested, send Unity of Kona an email. Do you want to know what it is? It's unityofkona@gmail.com. For the Zoom link. Mahalo. I'm keeping it.
All right, you keep that, Tawny. Thank you so much. You did an amazing job, and we appreciate your effort. Okay. Okay, the link for the Zoom session will be in the newsletter for the Wednesday prayer service. So definitely join us. This is a new program, the Wednesday, wonderful Wednesday program. So definitely come in and let's get involved in the power of prayer and inspiration. Let's do it in the middle of the week too. So that's amazing. Thank you, everybody that put that together. I think that was the board and Reverend Sophia and everybody putting that together. A brand new program. Join us on Wednesdays for that. The link's in the newsletter. All righty, and with that, we're going to take a breath and move forward. Now is the time for our daily word. And today we have special honor from Clyde. He's doing so much. He's coming to come up and do our daily word for us. And so what an honor it is. Thank you, Clyde. You got to come up here and do the daily word, my friend. Okay. You said you wanted to do this now. Yeah. Put you in the spotlight. Well, being inspired is an amazing thing, isn't it? Here you go.
Yes, she got it. Get ready to resonate today, you guys. Just a word of warning. And that's only one part. This is tremendous. It's called Inner Peace. Can you hear me, Virginia? Can you hear me, Virginia? Okay. Okay. The peace of God is mine to live and mine to share. Peace flourishes in my awareness of divine presence within. Flowing from my spiritual center, peace calms my emotions, clarifies my thoughts, relaxes my body, and radiates to everyone around me. Oh, yeah. If peace eludes me, I open myself to anything that may be blocking its flow. Invite it to come forward for healing. If I'm holding on to resentment or unforgivingness, I pray for the willingness to forgive, affirming divine love through me forgives and releases all bitterness. Wow. If worry seep into my thoughts, I remember God is the only presence and power active in the universe. Affirming faith dissolves fear and restores peace. I align my thoughts and feelings with God's indwelling presence to live ever more peacefully. And from Romans we have, let us then pursue what makes for peace and for mutual upbringing. Okay, all together now. The peace of God is mine to live and mine to share.
Mahalo nui. Thank you so much, Clyde. We really do appreciate you and honor you in every such way as we can. Thank you so much. And so with this, it's time to relax, get comfortable in the seats where you sit. As you plant your feet flat on the floor, take a deep breath. And as we breathe into this moment of silence, we'll breathe into a moment of breath and visualize the sanctuary. As you feel this loving energy of those around you, breathe into it and feel it flowing in and through you. You see this loving energy flowing around every person here in this sanctuary and then spreading out to every being on this earth and in this world. And now, if there are any events or circumstances in your life or anyone that you know in need of prayer, let's take a moment and see them in what we've just created, this most beautiful, loving heart. As thoughts or prayers, we send them out to the world of our loved ones and all of the Ohana humanity. And as we come together, we'll do our prayer for protection. For the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. And so it is. Mahalo ke akua. Thank you, God. Amen. And now we come into a time where we have a little bit of music. I think Dondi and Elaine have come together with something that's kind of apropos for the harmony through honesty talk from Rev Sophia today. And so let's see what they got going. Thank you, Dondi and Elaine.
I guess they want to hear me.
Honesty's the gift to give. From the heart it's how we live. Tell the truth, don't tell a lie. Stand up for what you know is right. Be sincere, it is a must. Honest means earning trust. To be honest means to be real. Say exactly what you feel. Being's a way to share our thoughts. Speak the truth and do it a lot. Be sincere, it is a must. Honest trust. To be honest means to be real. Say exactly what you feel. If someone asks you what to do, be honest and tell the truth. Honesty makes you feel great. Just be honest every day. Be sincere, it is a must. Honest means earning trust. To be honest means to be real. Say exactly what you feel. There is a way to share our thoughts. Speak the truth and do it alive. Be sincere, it is a must. Honest means earning trust. To be honest means to be real. Say exactly what you feel. Say exactly what you feel. Say exactly what you feel.
Thank you so much, guys. And with honesty and trust, it puts us right into the next moment where we'll introduce our speaker, Rev Sophia Falke, coming in from Henderson, Nevada. And her talk today is Harmony Through Honesty, the Power of Direct Communication. And so fitting as the service is, meditation and message. Reverend Sophia, welcome, aloha. Yeah, you're on. Hi.
Ah, aloha. It's so good to see you again. It's been a while. Elaine, that is a sharp top you have on there. All spark. I like that. Has nothing to do with my lesson this morning. Ah, and oh, Patrick, I'll need to share a screen because I do have slides today. I forgot to forewarn you. Oh, you're so cool. All right. Oh, so let me start out so we can see where we're going with this morning. As soon as I find there we go. And okay, there we go. So are you seeing my slide? Yes. Okay. So we're talking about our fifth commitment in the 15 commitments to conscious, well, I say living. The name of the book is To Conscious Leadership, but actually the principles in here are all about conscious living, which I totally love. And number 5 is eliminating gossip. And I'm going to read the affirmation to start. At the end, I'll let all of you join me, okay? Or actually, you'll be doing it, and with great gusto. So the affirmation is: I commit to ending gossip, talking directly to people with whom I have a concern, and encouraging others to talk directly to people with whom they have an issue or concern. And this month, the commitments we'll be talking about are eliminating gossip, starting this morning. Next week, practicing integrity. Integrity is my favorite word, I think, of all. Then generating appreciation and ending with excelling in your zone of genius, because you are all geniuses. Do you remember when you were a kid and grown-ups would tell you not to tattle? My sister Nancy was taking violin lessons, and my mother would set the timer so that Nancy would practice 30 minutes. And one time I saw my sister setting the timer ahead 10 minutes so wouldn't have to practice the full 30, just 20. Well, I went to my mother. I said, Mom, Nancy turned the timer ahead. And my mother looked at me and said, Quiet. I'm glad she did. What I find interesting is that as we get older, tattling evolves into conversations such as, Hey, did you know that George sneaks out of work early every Friday? And the recipient of this message might respond, Yes. And if you think that's bad, did you know that Mary conned her boss into giving her additional paid time off? What's this grown-up version of tattling called? Gossip. Exactly. And why do people gossip? What do you think? Bonding? Processing? Makes you feel better? But okay, Patrick, that's your number. Okay. All right. Yeah, and according to the authors of the 15 commitments, one is to make others wrong. It's a way of one upmanship and relieving the gossiper from feeling inferior to someone else. Sometimes it's to gain validation. Feeding gossip can make us feel right. A lot of times it's used to control others. When we feed our judgments to others and in a way to manipulate information and it's to control their beliefs and behaviors. And we see that a lot in politics, don't we? Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's to get attention. I'm important. Look at me. I know this information. And I don't know about you. There are certain people I don't tell anything to about my life unless I want it to be broadcast on CNN and ABC and NBC and everywhere, because that individual will share it. And I believe it's so that look at me. I know everything. Sometimes it's to divert attention. If you're feeling vulnerable, if you gossip about someone else, then it shifts the attention to that other person and away from you. Sometimes it's to avoid conflict. You vent to others rather than the one who's involved, the one that you have the grievance with. And that's also called triangulation. Okay. And all of these can have disastrous results when they go unchecked. Now, remember, I'm going to come back to this. I always do at some point. Remember when I challenged you to go 21 days? Elaine is cracking up there. I invited you to go 21 days complaint free. And I think some of you 3 was the limit or something. 3 hours, was it? No. Okay, Tara, I see your bracelet too. Yay, yay, good for you. I was wondering why you're holding your fist up. I'm looking, where's my bracelet? There's my bracelet. Okay, I better put mine on since I'm talking about it, huh? There's my bracelet. All right. And one of the reasons is because complaining and gossiping and judging can be so detrimental, not only to the other people, the ones that you're gossiping or judging, but also to yourself, because it's taking away from your God self. And those of us in the Metaphysics 1 class, it's really coming home, isn't it? When people are gossiping, judging, and so on, they're very much in the relative world rather than in the absolute world. Now, the absolute is God, unchanging, truth, unlimited. And the relative world is all the interpretations we place on people, situations, ourselves. So living complaint free, I'm sure there are more bracelets there for those of you who were not here for the first challenge. It's worth it. It truly is. It's transformational. Jesus talked about it when he said, I tell you, on the day of judgment, people will give account for every careless word they speak. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words will you be condemned. That's powerful. On the day of judgment, people will give account for every careless word they speak. For by your words you'll be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. Have you ever been careless with your speech? I keep thinking, I got it. All right, I cleaned it up because I used to think that I was amusing sometimes. And, I'm from the Northeast and we have a different sense of humor there. It's very dry and it can be cutting. And the thing is, I go to a different part of the country and people don't understand. Well, if there are other people from the Northeast, they'll be laughing. And the rest of the folks from other parts of the country, they're wondering what the Northeasterners, especially the New Yorkers, are laughing at, laughing about. And it took a long time for me to realize that it's not funny. I remember I had a boss, I would say something which I thought was very clever. And she would be deadpan. And I go, well, Alethea, that's a joke. That's funny. She goes, no, it's not. And after a few times, I really started to look at, well, what is it that I'm saying? And I realized that I was being careless with my words. And that to be more intentional and know the impact that our words have will transform any situation. I have a colleague who is going into schools now, and one of the things to work with at-risk youth who are potentially going to drop out of school in 9th or 10th grade, and to work with them so that they see the value of their lives, the value of their contributions. And part of her program is to also speak to the teachers, the importance of their words. Because how many times will a teacher tell a student, you may as well give up, you're never going to get it, you're useless, worthless. I mean, they use these words sometimes when they get frustrated. So our words are so powerful. And when we abuse them with our gossiping and our judging, then we are taking the energy away from the expansion of our consciousness and the raising of the vibration of the world. So, I'm sorry, I'm falling apart here. Excuse me. So we can go back to screen share. Okay. Now the next is, there we go. All right. So today I'm talking about harmony through honesty, the power of direct communication. And I was very clever. I created this slide, by the way. I think I was clever. But thank you. Where do things start? They start in our thoughts, right? And then the thoughts become our words. Now, then the question is, so what we're saying true? If it's not, then we have to come back into our thoughts and make a correction. Hopefully, we will recognize whether or not it's true. If it is true, then the next question to ask is it helpful? If the answer is no, circle back to your thoughts again. But if it is helpful, then celebrate. Is this making sense? We have a lot of times something might be true. You might want to share. Do you love? I think, and this is a stereotype, that men really hate it when a woman comes up and says, we need to talk. And to be honest, actually, I shudder if anybody comes up to me like that, because I know who knows what's coming next, because they might not be in this helpful area. Whatever they want to say might be true, but is it helpful? If they don't like what I'm wearing, is that helpful? Who cares, right? So do they need to say it? If it's true that sometimes what I say can be hurtful to people, is that helpful? Yes, because that helps me shift how I want to show up in the world. Okay. And that's basically the premise we're going on. And what happens is we are just so creative. Of all the animals, any life form ever created, we are the ones who can imagine things that are beyond belief. And my goodness, and most of you have been around for a few years. And it's fascinating to see how the world has changed and how the knowledge is exponential. I am so in awe of how the technology, the science, all of that has grown. It grows within a month more than it used to take 10 years to evolve. And it's faster and faster and faster. We live in exciting times. The part of our creativity is we create stories. And that's so much fun, because when we create a story, it's because we have these vivid imagination and we have these filters. And when we do a story, it often will distort the facts. And much of gossip, what do you think? It would be fact or story? Story. So let's go back here. And so fact and story. So a fact is what a video camera would have recorded. A story is opinions. A fact is factual and objective descriptions. Story is beliefs. A fact is black and white reality. And then the story, judgments, interpretations, motivations, assumptions. And I know there's probably 2 or 3 of you that I've spoken with privately, and you'll start to tell me something. And I'll say, that's a great story. Now, can we get back to the facts? And that might seem abrupt. And yet, when we live in the story, in that right hand column, we are living in with we're looking things through our filters, and our filters are not always giving us the accurate picture. But when we can go back to the facts, then it's like taking the lid off of beliefs that we have held so dear and shining a conscious light upon them. Going back to the facts and releasing the story gives us breathing room, because you don't have to live in the story anymore. It's freeing. And stories, there are interpretations, and it's how we exist in the relative world versus the absolute. The absolute is the facts. The absolute is all that is God, all that is possible, unlimited. And the story is where we start to restrict ourselves. See, am I ready? All right. So when we want to go from one to the other, I'm going to share the model that they have in the book, but also then go to the nonviolent communication model. And I've talked about that a lot because the nonviolent communication is getting in touch with the needs that we have and the feelings that emerge when those needs are being met or aren't being met. But in this case, the model, and they're doing this heavily for companies, and it can work between individuals. It's basically looking at person A who wants to clear the issue, to go up to someone and say, hey, you know what? There's something I'd really like to talk with you about. Would this be a good time? And then establish a time to talk. And then share the specific facts of the situation. And then share the story that you created about those facts. I remember one time it was a nonviolent communication class, and they were not quite understanding the interpretation that we put on things. I said, okay, let me just show you. Let me demonstrate this for you. I stood up. I went to the door of the classroom. I opened the door and I closed it quietly behind me. I stood outside the door for a few moments, and then I came back in, closed the door quietly behind me, and sat down. I said, okay, what just happened? And one of the first things was, you were upset with us because we weren't getting it. And then someone else was, well, obviously, you were angry. I said, well, what just happened? What had happened was I said, I'll demonstrate for you what I mean. I even gave them a hint. And I stood up. I walked to the door, etc. And no one was able to reflect that back to me. But after we had the conversation, they're going, oh, that's right. We made up a story. And when we can share those stories, it's so powerful because it helps others understand why we're showing up the way we are. And then to share, and this is how I feel about it. And talk about what your role in creating that situation, that story was, or any distress that might be between you and the other person. Because any communication takes two or more, but we are both responsible for our communication. Oops. And then the person who is listening and listening to understand. So this is assuming that both people want to participate in this. So what they're going to do next, which the slide isn't bringing up, oops. We'll try this again, okay? Thank you. And we'll come down to, here we go. All right, we'll just have it all there. Forget the animation. So the person receiving will reflect back. And you ever had the experience where you think you're being very clear and the other person isn't hearing what you're saying? Well, this is an opportunity then for someone to say, okay, am I hearing you correctly? And they can relate A, B, and C back to you. And then they'll ask, is did I hear you right? And then you have an opportunity to say yes or no and offer correction. Then, of course, the person listening to understand will ask you, is there more? And then you can have an open conversation and a resolution. Now, in the nonviolent communication model, it's very simple. When you said or did X, and be specific and factual, I felt, give the emotion, because my need for, and identify the need, whether it's safety, acceptance, love, inclusion, was not being met, or I felt joyful, say, because my need for acceptance was being met. Okay. And then is the request, would you be willing to? And then you say what you would like the other person to do. Then is the opportunity for the receiver, who is going to be more open because you haven't said, you are terrible and you did that to me. You're taking responsibility. They'll be more open to participating in that conversation. Does this make sense? I hope so. Okay. You are the best. So we're coming through, and moving forward. And, it takes time. It takes longer to speak nonviolent communication. It takes longer to speak clearing model than, hey, you really annoyed me. Or, you were a jerk. That's the shorthand way. And that all it does is makes the other person wrong. Or to tell someone else, oh, Joe did A, or Mary did B, instead of going directly to them. And part of this model also is if somebody comes up to say, oh, hey, do you know about so-and-so? I wish somebody would talk to him or her. You could simply say, you know what? I can't participate in this conversation, but I'd be happy to go with you and be there as a presence so that you can speak to Mary or Joe. It seems Mary and Joe, they're getting in trouble today. So that so that you have an opportunity to have the conversation with them directly. So the recipient is also responsible for gossip and judgment and complaining. because they are allowing it to propagate. This is our opportunity. I mean, in unity, what do we talk about? We talk about the Christ presence in each other. We talk about the power of our thoughts and our words. We talk about how we are all one. If we are all one, then how can we judge each other? We are one in God. We are of God. We are God demonstrating in this world. So let's now go to our affirmation. And together, and I'm not going to try to speak with you because of our little time lag, but I would like all of you together to say this affirmation with gusto and take this with you this week because you all got this written on a card and refer back to it every time you consider gossiping or any kind of judgment. Remember this. So together, rocked it. Okay, let us take a moment now and let's just go within with some of these concepts and see about releasing any energy we might have about anyone or anything going on in our lives. And I invite you to close your eyes, close your outer eyes so your inner eyes might see more clearly. Breathing deeply, breathing in the light and the love that is God. And allow it to flow in and through every cell and tissue of your body, feeling that healing power restoring you to wholeness. And to support it on every exhale, release any dis-ease or discomfort you might be feeling in your body. And continue with that experience, breathing in the light and the love that is God. Feel His healing power flowing in and through your body. And now to shift. Again, drawing forth the healing power and presence, the love and the light that is God. And invite it to flow through every thought, every emotion, anywhere where you are feeling stress or anger, or fear, or doubt. Allow that healing power and presence to free you. Allow that high vibration of God to fill any lower vibration experience that you're having right now. And fill it and get it vibrating to the point that it dissipates. This is an opportunity to love yourself. Love yourself beyond measure. Love yourself for every foible, every hiccup, every self-flagellation. You are one with God. With God, all things are possible. With God, all is light and love and high vibration. Allow that knowing to seep through your thoughts, your beliefs, and take anchor. And affirm, I am one with God. There is no one or no thing that can harm me. We are all one with God. We have that Christ essence flowing in and through us. Remembering this, when next an opportunity comes up to perhaps gossip or judge, think of the individual involved. Imagine looking into their eyes. Seeing so clearly, you are the Christ. We are the Christ. And know through that Christedness, you are one. It's invitation to honor each other with truth and love and light. So let's take that love and light right now and radiate it out. And bless everyone within these sanctuary walls. And then, because you are powerful beyond measure, radiate it out into the world, going throughout the Hawaiian Islands, across the oceans, blessing the people of the world. Where there is darkness, you are the light. Where there is fear and anger, hatred, you are the love. And know that you are transforming the world, one thought, one word, and one action at a time. So let us return, this time in this place. Slowly open your eyes. And know that you are the anointed. And if nobody's told you yet today, you are amazing. Aloha.
Thank you so much, Reverend Sophia. What an honor it is to have you coming in, sharing your thoughts of wisdom, of harmony with through honesty. And now everybody remember that blue bracelet or purple one and just snap that sucker when we start to gossip, and we can change the world one aloha at a time. And with that, we'd like to move on forward with our offertory. And so now is the time in the service where you give our tithes and offerings in support of this ministry, which there are many ways in which you can make your donation, we are abundantly grateful. One's going to appear up on the screen, as well as they got the QR code and PayPal, as well as for those attending the service, our ushers will be coming forward to pass around the tithing bowl. For anyone with spare change, please feel free. There's a little box in the back that looks like a little sanctuary that's our building fund. So throw a little change into our building fund box over there so we can let that grow also. And so with all this, we'll hold your gifts in your hands as we join together to do our offertory prayer now on screen. Divine love, through me, blesses, multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive. I am abundantly prosperous in every way. And so it is. Mahalo ke akua. Thank you, God. We have some more music coming with Dondi and Elaine as our ushers come forward to collect the tithing. Thank you, guys. We appreciate your time, talent, and treasures, as we appreciate everybody that participates here.
You know, now that we're all anointed, we have a song. It was a long song, so we kind of shortened it a little bit, but I think most of you know the song, and if you want to sing along with us, please do so. The song is A Little Aloha.
Aloha,
Thank you, Donnie and Elaine. As we're running a little bit long, we're going to do an offertory prayer blessing, and so we'll come up on the board. For we do know that through Spirit we know that as we give, so shall we receive. We dedicate and consecrate these gifts to do your will and your work in this center, in our lives, and in our community. And so it is. Mahalo ke akua. Thank you, God. Join us next Sunday. Guest speaker Kayla Harvey. Her topic will be freedom through integrity. Living from integrity means living in concurrence with our words, beliefs, and needs. When we do so, we are living in alignment with our purpose. And music next week will be with Faith Rivera. And she's going to be live in service. So this is really cool. Faith and her family's coming over. And in closing, I'd like to ask everybody, please tell your family and friends about the Facebook event. We'll remain visible on Facebook, Unity of Kona Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And as we hold each other in our hearts, we're going to call it going black screen now because we got to get ready for the next the Sound Bowls healing service. So as you go upstairs for a little cake and coffee and cookies and food, I would please ask you to pick up all your belongings here so we can set up the chairs. And so as we want to say thank you, everybody, for joining us. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you again next Sunday. Until then,